Hi, welcome everybody. It's Mike Newton down here at Lytham Golf Academy. We've got a little head-to-head here for you today with two ping clubs. So we've got the G400 and the recently launched G700. So two obviously very forgiving irons. G400 very, very popular. We've seen here at the Academy, and I think Ping have seen obviously that also. Obviously very forgiving iron. Very popular, very solid, does really what it does in terms of a job. And then obviously we've got the introduction of the G700 Iron, which is a hollow construction. Again, a very forgiving golf club. Ping saying a little bit hotter on that ball speed, a little bit more forgiving. Obviously that hollow design here. So I'm going to maybe put these two head to head here and give you guys a little bit of an idea as to the differences, if there is any differences between these two clubs. Because if you're in this market for this game improvement iron, then probably these two irons are possibly on your radar there. So this little video might just help you to maybe, whether you go out and test both these, which obviously I would recommend you do, but maybe just to see what you might expect to possibly see through a fitting session. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the G400 Iron. I've got both these in a green dot lie, okay, which is upright, and I've also got a 1/2 inch longer in a stiff flex. So I'm going to use the shaft for both heads here, so keep this test as equal as we possibly can. I'm going to hit 5 balls with each. I've set myself up out about 170 yards from the green here, so we're going to see a little bit of accuracy as well as maybe that distance and what that golf ball does. But we're going to start with the G400. We'll hit 5 shots and then we'll look at some numbers in a little bit more detail. Okay, so that's a nice open shot there. Very nice strike. Always feel a very solid club from Ping. That's 175 carry there. That's spinning around that sort of 6,000 mark. Nice little start there, hitting that green nicely. Okay, again, nice shot there. As I say, Ping, you know, they make some solid products here. G400 has been hugely popular. You know, it is that big appearance behind the golf ball. It's quite long from the sort of heel to toe. Bit of offset here. Very, very forgiving. Very solid club. Bit of technology in the back of that with that eye sort of technology. We've got this nice sort of what they call hyper pearl finish on it, which I think looks stunning. Obviously now I've got ferrules on them, which I think just finishes them off really nicely. Yeah, it just feels so easy to hit there. Really nice high towering ball flight. That's hitting the green quite nicely again. Okay, that wasn't quite as good as the other ones there. That was a little bit low in that club face there, but it seems to come out pretty hot there. Yeah, that seems to have flown off for a low in the strike face. Yeah, spin's just dropped a little bit because of the strike, and that's just come out a little bit hotter. Okay, so we're just going to finish on ball number 5 with a G400 head. Getting a lovely towering ball flight there. That's going to be hitting the green quite nicely again. Okay, so accuracy wise they're pretty good. You know, I hit the green with all of those shots there, averaging that carry around at 174 mark there. So we're going to switch over into the G700 head here. Keep the same shaft. Obviously same colour code here, so the test is going to be as equal as we can, and let's see how that stands up against the G400. Okay, so same shaft gone in G700 head here. Again, a hollow construction head. Now, as I put that down there, first impressions is it's got a very similar shape to the G400, but probably what I would say when I look at that is it looks to be a little bit longer from that heel to toe section. Looks to be a little bit more in that toe end of the golf club there, but a very similar sort of shape and to G400. Now, also we've got hollow construction here. It'd be interesting to see if there's any difference of sound. Okay, now I've just actually made a bit of mistake there on the naming of these clubs on the simulator here. So I've actually called that first batch G700, even though it was a G400. I'll put it up on the screen here, so hopefully it's not too confusing for you. So G700 Iron, 7 iron, green lie, 1/2 inch longer, stiff flex again. Let's get this first one hit. Okay, that was a different sound, a little bit louder sound maybe there. Just pulled that fraction, it's gone a little bit further because of that. But again, that's hit that green quite nicely. I've just pushed that out a little bit more there. Definitely a louder sound to that. that hollow construction. Now the Ping hollow head isn't filled with anything. We know there's other brands out there that have actually made hollow heads and they filled it with foam or substance or some dampening tuners in a way. This doesn't have that, and maybe because of that you can hear that slightly louder crack to this. Now a lot of guys would like that because it feels like the ball's exploding off the club face. Sometimes it relates to like, wow, that feels like it's going a long way. So sound can influence us as to how the sort of club sort of feels here, but definitely that louder click to this compared to the G400. That's good. Very similar flight there. I wouldn't say that's going any higher or anything. Again, hitting that green quite nicely there. 173 carry. Yeah, again, nice shot there. Really high towering flight. That's hitting the green. Pretty central. Looks to be stopping pretty quick there, to be honest. Be interesting to see some spin numbers here. So that particular one spun at just around that 6,500 mark there. So quite a good bit of stopping power there. Now the loft on this 7 iron of G700 is 29.5 degrees of loft. The G400 is 30 degrees, so there is only half a degree difference, with the G700 being half a degree stronger, so there's hardly anything in it, to be honest. Okay, so I'm just going to hit this last ball here with G700, and then we're going to look at some numbers. Oh, right, that was a little bit heel touch push that. It's climbed very nicely there. It still hit a sort of desired distance at 168, a little bit of a drop off, but not much, but just massively pushed right. That was more me than the actual golf club there. Okay, so let's go and jump into some numbers and let's see how G700 is performing against G400. Okay, so this is where you just got to switch these around. So where it says G700 should be 400, and where it says 400 should be 700. My fault. I put the wrong, called it the wrong name when I started hitting. So swap these around. So if you think of the blue is the 400, the white is the 700. So what we're going to see a little bit here is clubhead speed, obviously as you expect, very, very similar. Ball speed pretty much identical there. Launch angle there, you can actually see the 400 launch a touch high there at 18 against 17 of the 700. Spin number, 400 spun just over 6,000, which is a decent sort of number there for a 7 iron with a loft of sort of 30 degrees, and we can see this 700 launched at spun at 6,700, so more spin with that 700 there, which is quite surprising. Maybe because a little bit that CG's pulled back from the club face, maybe just allowing that to sort of spin up a little bit more. Don't know, but that's quite a high number there, a bit higher than I sort of expect. So that's just going to affect a little bit of distance there. So even though 700 came out a little bit lower there at 17 degrees with a similar ball speed, because it spun up a little bit more, it hasn't actually translated into any more sort of distance, to be honest. So 174 against 173, they're very, very similar on that carry distance. Maybe looking at dispersion now in terms of offline, we can see that on average the 400 was 4 yards offline, more to the right, and the 700 was averaging at 10 yards offline, more to the right. So you see that last one just killed me a little bit there at 29 yards right. That was obviously, again, more me than the actual golf club itself. Right, okay guys, so there we go. Two Ping irons there, G400 against G700. So two maybe different irons here in terms of the heads with regards to the sort of hollow head of the 700 against the G400. In terms of the looks, it's very, very similar behind that golf ball. You know, yeah, 700 just maybe looks a little bit more confidence inspiring, a little bit longer in that heel to toe of the golf club. And see a bit more in that sort of toe section. Just looking at it here, yeah, it looks like a slightly bigger toe section there in the 700. But to be honest, looking at the grooves and the shaded area of this, they're very, very similar. So not much difference between them in terms of that. Obviously, the loft is only half a degree different. So the hollow head would generally promote a more forgiving golf club here. So bit difficult to really sort of test that for you guys here, because, you know, my strikes are pretty good. I did hit that last one, to be fair, with that 700, which was caught a little bit heel, and that dropped off at 168, you know, so averaging at 173, so a little bit of a drop off there, but not massive. But again, it's quite difficult to test that forgiveness level of these. Performance wise, very, very similar, apart from that spin. Quite surprised that spin was a little bit higher there with the 700 against the 400 there, but ball speed's very, very similar, from a very similar clubhead speed, smash exactly the same. So, you know, there's not a great deal in it with those two. Again, that's me testing this today on those particular strikes with only 5 balls each. Obviously through a fitting session, go in a little bit deeper. You're going to tinker around a little bit more with shafts here. You're going to maybe compare them over multiples of shots, and you as an individual, that performance, you could see the 700 being a lot more powerful maybe than the 400, or vice versa. You know, there's no clean cut sort of pattern that we see here for me through fitting anyway. You know, some just adapt to a 400 against a 700, or whether it's another brand or another model. You know, it's so individual. But again, this is where you've got to go out there, get fit yourself, get on a launch monitor with a good fitter, and try these different shaft options, get the lies right, which is really important through custom fit, and obviously then get the head right. That's going to give you the good numbers, performance, and the confidence that you would like to sort of see when you take that onto the golf course. Okay guys, thanks very much for watching. I always appreciate watching the videos. Comment down below, let me know your thoughts on those two irons, 700 against the 400. Is that something that you go out and try? Is it something you've already got? Let me know your thoughts, how you're getting on with them, if you do have them. Do follow my social media platforms. All the links are in the description down below. Very much appreciated. Obviously hit that thumbs up button, share the video around. If you know anybody or any ping fans out there maybe interested in this video, do share it around with your friends. Hit that subscribe button, and hopefully we'll catch up with you all very soon.